China built the most over-engineered SUV that will destroy the global car market. China just built the most over-engineered SUV the world has ever seen, and it's about to make every other luxury vehicle look outdated. We're talking about vehicles that can rotate in place like a tank, charge from 10% to 80% in 10 minutes, read your emotions through biometric sensors, and even float through 5 feet of water. You're about to witness Chinese SUVs that shouldn't exist according to everything we thought we knew about automotive engineering. Each one pushes technology past any rational limit. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why traditional automakers are losing sleep. Let's begin with the ultimate achievement, where excess becomes philosophy. Voya Taishon, 9 liters. You're looking at 621 miles of total range in a 7-seat SUV that refuses to compromise on anything. The Voya Taishon 9 liters puts 510 horsepower to the ground through dual motors, hitting 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds. But performance numbers aren't what makes this vehicle special. Magic Carpet 3.0 suspension reads the road ahead using LiDAR and cameras. It predicts bumps before your wheels reach them and adjusts the dampers in advance. You're not riding over imperfections. You're gliding past them before they happen. Every first and second row seat includes heating, cooling, and massage functions. The third row? Those seats fold flat automatically with powered motors because manual folding is beneath this vehicle's standards. Nappa leather wraps every surface with real open-pore wood trim running through the cabin. 23 speakers deliver sound tuned specifically for this interior volume. A triple-screen cockpit puts a 15-inch display at your fingertips, while augmented reality navigation floats on the windshield through the head-up display. Wireless phone charging comes with active cooling underneath because even charging heat is unacceptable here. The panoramic glass roof uses electrochromic dimming, letting you adjust opacity without tint film. Here's what defines this vehicle. Every system is over-specified. Sensors backing up sensors. Power reserves exceeding any scenario you'll encounter. Materials chosen not for cost, but for being the absolute best available. This is what happens when engineering constraints disappear completely, when excess becomes the entire philosophy. But to understand how we arrived at this peak, you need to see what came right before it. Zeekr 9X. The Zeekr 9X charges from 10% to 80% in 10.5 minutes. That's the headline. But what you experience inside is something else entirely. This is a 6-seat luxury cabin that treats every passenger like they're in first class. Second-row seats recline into zero-gravity positions with powered leg rests that extend like an airline suite. You're not sitting, you're floating. 800-volt architecture with silicon carbide inverters enables 503 miles of range from a golden battery pack holding 140 kilowatt-hours. Dual motors push 536 horsepower through all-wheel drive. Air suspension with continuous damping control adjusts thousands of times per second, reading road texture and responding before you feel anything. 21 speakers create individual sound zones throughout the cabin. Each passenger gets their own audio environment without headphones. Nappa leather covers every touchpoint. Powered sliding doors open and close with mechanical precision that feels like a bank vault. The exterior design stretches into MPV proportions while keeping SUV stance. Long wheelbase creates interior space that feels larger than the physical dimensions suggest. Flush door handles retract into the body. The roofline extends back without disrupting airflow. Every surface is optimized for aerodynamics without sacrificing the commanding presence you expect from this size vehicle. This is a vehicle designed around one principle. Luxury means never waiting. 10.5 minutes to restore 500 miles proves it. But fast charging is just scratching the surface of what these vehicles can do. BYD Yang Wong Yu 8. This vehicle can rotate in place like a tank, completely in place. 4 independent motors, one at each wheel, producing a combined 1,196 horsepower. Each motor operates independently with its own control system. When you want to turn around in a tight space, the left wheels spin forward while the right wheels spin backward. The vehicle pivots on its center axis. No 3-point turns, no backing up, just rotation. But here's where it gets wild. This SUV can float. Drive it into water up to 5 feet deep and it keeps moving. The battery pack is sealed. The motors are waterproof. The body has enough buoyancy to stay on the surface. Emergency situations that would strand any other vehicle become minor inconveniences. Rivers, floods, deep water crossings. The U8 just drives through them. 0 to 60 happens in 3.6 seconds because 1200 horsepower doesn't care about weight. Adjustable air suspension with hydraulic control manages the mass during those physics-defying maneuvers. A 360-degree camera system shows you every angle simultaneously. Nappa leather throughout the cabin with carbon fiber accents breaking up the surfaces. The interior feels like a luxury SUV should, while the technology underneath defies what SUVs are supposed to do. The exterior design is aggressive without being excessive. Bold lines, muscular stance, but refined enough for luxury duty. Blade battery technology from BYD gives you 279 miles of range in a package this powerful. The real achievement isn't the range. It's making quad-motor independent control reliable enough for daily use. Then came something even more unexpected. Hongchi EHS9, infrared thermal imaging night vision. That's what Hongqi mounted in the front of this SUV. Not just headlights that see farther. A system that detects heat signatures in complete darkness. Animals crossing the road register as bright shapes against cold backgrounds. Pedestrians glow with body heat. You're seeing the world the way predators see prey, except you're using it to avoid collisions that regular cameras would miss entirely. The EHS9 is a 6-seat flagship with captain's chairs in all 3 rows. Dual motors produce 551 horsepower through all-wheel drive. 120 kilowatt-hour battery pack delivers 323 miles of range. But the engineering focus went into making this feel like a private lounge that happens to move. Semi-aniline leather covers every seat. Ambient lighting flows through the cabin in patterns you can customize. 14 speakers create surround sound tuned for conversation as much as music. Rear passengers get their own entertainment screens with wireless headphones. Powered doors open and close with soft close mechanisms that eliminate any harsh sounds. The second row captain's chairs recline, heat, cool, and massage. You're sitting in furniture that would cost tens of thousands if you bought it for your home. Here, it's just part of the package. The exterior design is formal without being boring. Long hood, upright grille, presence that announces arrival. This is a vehicle built for people who need to be noticed, but refuse to shout about it. Clean lines, restrained details, proportions that look correct from every angle, chrome accents, catch light without overwhelming the black paint most buyers choose. But night vision and luxury seats are just surface-level innovations compared to what happens when cost stops being a factor. Rocks 0, 1. 4 motors, 1 at each wheel, independent torque vectoring that controls power delivery to each corner individually. The ROX 01 uses quad-motor all-wheel drive, not for headlines, but for control. Corners flatten as power shifts between wheels faster than physics should allow. The vehicle rotates around its center point with precision that makes conventional all-wheel drive systems look primitive. 150 kilowatt-hour battery pack delivers 497 miles of range in a package this powerful. Adjustable air suspension with active roll control keeps the body flat during maneuvers that would tilt lesser vehicles. But the real engineering is inside. Bespoke interior with hand-stitched leather covering surfaces that took craftspeople weeks to complete. Not machine-stitched, hand-stitched. Every seam is a statement that time and cost don't matter here. Electrochromic glass roof with 5 opacity levels. You're not choosing between open or closed. You're dialing in exact transparency from clear to nearly opaque. 25 speakers throughout the cabin with individual zone tuning. Each seating position gets its own sound profile, optimized for where that person's ears actually sit. Rear executive seats include heating, cooling, massage, and powered footrests that extend out when you recline. The exterior takes a minimalist approach. No unnecessary lines, no fake vents, just clean surfaces interrupted by functional elements. Flush door handles, aerodynamic mirrors, a roofline that extends back without looking heavy. This is a vehicle designed for people who understand that true luxury whispers instead of shouts. The proportions are perfect because the designers had time to get them right without budget pressure. But even hand-stitched interiors and quad motors pale next to what AI is doing in the next vehicle. Avatr 11. This vehicle reads your emotions. Biometric sensors embedded throughout the cabin. Monitor heart rate, skin temperature, breathing patterns. The Avatr 11's emotional intelligence AI processes this data and responds. Stressed? The climate system adjusts temperature and airflow patterns proven to calm people down. Tired? Ambient lighting shifts to cooler tones that increase alertness. The seat massage activates in patterns designed for your specific tension points. You're not just sitting in a vehicle. You're sitting in a vehicle that's actively trying to improve your mental state. 34 sensors feed data to this system. 3 LiDAR units scan the road ahead for autonomous driving capability. 11 cameras provide 360-degree awareness. Dual motors produce 578 horsepower through all-wheel drive. 116 kilowatt-hour battery delivers 435 miles of range. 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds when you need that burst of acceleration. But speed isn't the story here. Semi-aniline leather covers the seats with microfiber suede on the headliner. 14 speakers create soundscapes that change based on your mood data. If the AI detects stress, music selection adjusts automatically. Volume lowers, bass frequencies reduce. The entire acoustic environment reshapes itself around your emotional state. This isn't a sound system. This is therapeutic audio engineering. The exterior design flows without interruption. Curved surfaces blend into each other. No harsh angles, no aggressive lines. Just smooth transitions that guide air around the body with minimal resistance. The silhouette looks fast sitting still. Coupe-like roofline despite SUV proportions. Flush lighting elements integrated so seamlessly, you barely notice them until they illuminate. Then came the vehicle that proved tech companies don't build cars like traditional manufacturers. Huawei M9. When a smartphone company builds a vehicle, they don't think about range. They think about ecosystem. The IDO M9 runs Harmony OS 4, connecting seamlessly with every Huawei device you own. Your phone, tablet, watch, earbuds, they all sync automatically when you enter the cabin. Phone calls transfer mid-sentence. Music continues without pause. Messages display on the center screen the instant they arrive. You're not getting into a car, you're entering an extension of your digital life. 3 LiDAR units provide autonomous driving capability that most manufacturers can't match. Advanced ADAS processes data from sensors positioned around the entire body. The system sees pedestrians before they step off curbs, predicts vehicle movements 2 cars ahead, adjusts speed for curves you can't see yet. Extended Range Electric System pairs a 1.5-liter range extender with dual motors producing 496 horsepower, 315 miles of pure electric range, 800 miles total before you need to stop. 25 speakers create Huawei sound throughout the cabin. Not just volume, spatial audio that places instruments in specific locations around you. Nappa leather seats with sustainable rattan wood trim running through the dashboard. Real wood with visible grain patterns. Not veneer, not vinyl. Solid wood shaped and finished by hand. The ambient lighting responds to music, pulsing and shifting with the beat. Your entertainment becomes environmental. The exterior takes cues from luxury sedans stretched into SUV proportions. Low nose, high beltline, floating roof design. Chrome accents outline the windows and highlight the grille. This is tech luxury, not traditional luxury. The design language says future without resorting to concept car excess. But seamless connectivity is just one approach to eliminating compromises. Lynk Co 900. Crystal gear selector rising from the center console. Not plastic molded to look like crystal. Actual cut crystal with faceted surfaces that catch cabin light and throw patterns across the interior. This is the first thing you touch when you start driving, and Lynk Co decided it needed to be jewelry. That single component defines the entire philosophy here. If something will be touched or seen, it must be extraordinary. Plug-in hybrid powertrain with 3 electric motors producing a combined 536 horsepower, 90 miles of pure electric range for daily driving. Over 600 miles total range when the gas engine activates. you're driving electric for weeks at a time without visiting a gas station. Then, when you need distance, the range extender wakes up and eliminates any anxiety about finding chargers. Adaptive air suspension adjusts ride height and damping based on road conditions. 23-speaker Harman Kardon sound system fills the cabin with audio that's been tuned specifically for this interior shape. Ambient lighting with 256 color options. Not presets. 256 individual colors you can dial in precisely. The cabin transforms from cool blue to warm amber to aggressive red based purely on your mood at that moment. Premium interior uses sustainable materials without sacrificing luxury. Leather that's been sourced responsibly. Recycled aluminum trim that looks identical to virgin metal. Wood from managed forests. This is conscious luxury for people who want excess but not guilt. The exterior design is restrained. Clean lines, proper proportions. Details that reveal themselves slowly instead of shouting for attention. Coupe roofline despite 3-row capability. Flush lighting elements. Chrome used sparingly for accent, not decoration. But hybrid efficiency is still a compromise compared to what pure electric architecture enables. Zeekr 7X. Zero-gravity front seats that don't just recline, they float. The seat base tilts, the backrest adjusts, the lumbar support activates, and leg support extends in one synchronized motion that removes pressure from your spine. You're not sitting anymore. You're suspended in a position NASA developed for astronauts to reduce gravitational stress, except you're doing it in traffic. Massage functions activate in patterns designed by physical therapists, not engineers guessing what feels good. 800-volt electrical architecture enables charging speeds that make conventional EVs look ancient. 310 miles of range from a battery pack that refills from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes. Dual-motor all-wheel drive produces 636 horsepower. 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds when you need it. But this vehicle wasn't built for straight-line speed. Adjustable air suspension with 5 driving modes reshapes the vehicle's personality on demand. Comfort mode for daily driving. Sport mode for canyon roads. Off-road mode for terrain most crossovers would avoid. Each mode recalibrates throttle response, steering weight, and suspension stiffness. 15 speakers create premium audio throughout the cabin. Nappa leather covers every seat with contrast stitching that's been done by hand, not machine. The exterior takes an aggressive stance without crossing into cartoonish territory. Wide body, muscular haunches, but refined enough for luxury duty. Flush door handles retract into the body. Active grille shutters close at highway speeds to reduce drag. LED lighting elements create a distinctive signature at night. This is a vehicle that looks fast standing still, but maintains elegance traditional performance SUVs sacrifice. Then came the battery technology everyone thought was still years away. Motors LS6. Semi-solid-state battery technology. Not coming in 5 years. Here, now. The LS6 uses battery chemistry that replaces liquid electrolyte with semi-solid material, increasing energy density while reducing fire risk. 100 kilowatt-hour pack delivers 425 miles of range in a package lighter than conventional lithium batteries. This is the breakthrough everyone's been promising. Motors just deployed it in a production SUV. Dual motors produce 578 horsepower through all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. But the acceleration is just a byproduct of the motor design, not the goal. Advanced driver assistance uses LiDAR to see the road ahead with depth perception cameras can't match. 11 cameras provide 360-degree awareness. The vehicle knows what's around you before you do. Lane changes happen with highway autopilot engaged. The system doesn't just see lines. It understands traffic flow and predicts other drivers' intentions. Premium Nappa leather with sustainable materials throughout the interior. 12.3-inch curved display flows into the dashboard instead of sitting on top of it. The screen is part of the interior architecture, not an iPad stuck to the dash. Contrast stitching runs through the seats in patterns that mirror the exterior body lines. Ambient lighting highlights architectural elements instead of just glowing for the sake of glowing. The exterior design is sharp without being aggressive, angular lines that serve aerodynamic purposes, active aero elements that deploy at speed, rear spoiler that rises above 50 miles per hour, flush charging port that opens automatically when you approach with the key. This is function dictating form, resulting in a shape that looks purposeful from every angle. But next-generation batteries are meaningless without the capability to use all that power. Haval H9. 7 seats wrapped in premium leather with acoustic glass blocking outside noise so effectively you'll forget you're in an SUV. Multi-layer soundproofing creates a cabin environment quieter than luxury sedans, costing twice as much. Conversations happen at normal volume, even at highway speeds. The third row isn't a punishment. It's actual seating adults can tolerate for hours. 2-liter turbocharged engine paired with TOD 4-wheel drive system and terrain response modes for sand, mud, snow, and rock. Hill descent control and crawl mode handle extreme angles without driver input. Electronic stability control has been tuned specifically for off-road conditions where losing traction is expected, not feared. This is a vehicle that transitions from school runs to trail runs without compromise. The interior uses materials you'd expect in vehicles costing 50% more. Soft touch surfaces everywhere your hands naturally rest. Chrome accents that catch light without overwhelming the space. Digital displays for the driver with physical buttons for climate control because touch screens while off-roading is a terrible idea. Heated seats front and rear. Dual zone climate control. Storage compartments sized for actual items people carry, not design exercises. Exterior design is upright and honest. High ground clearance visible from outside. Skid plates protecting vulnerable components. Roof rails rated for actual cargo, not decoration. This is an SUV that looks like it can handle terrain because it actually can. Muscular fenders housing wheels sized for capability, not appearance. LED lighting elements provide visibility in conditions where lesser lights fail. Then came the vehicle that proved traditional body-on-frame construction still has a place in modern engineering. Great Wall Tank 700. Body-on-frame construction with aluminum alloy. This isn't unibody crossover pretending to be tough. This is a ladder frame chassis supporting the body like trucks used to be built before cost-cutting turned SUVs into lifted station wagons. 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine producing 354 horsepower through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Real off-road capability backed by engineering that accepts weight as the price of strength. Electronic differential locks front and rear with adjustable air suspension that raises ground clearance when you need it and lowers for highway efficiency when you don't. Multiple off-road modes for different terrain types. Hill descent control. Crawl mode for rock climbing at walking pace. This vehicle was designed for conditions that would strand everything we've discussed so far. Sand dunes, mountain trails, river crossings. The Tank 700 treats them as intended use cases, not marketing claims. Premium leather interior with acoustic glass, creating a quiet cabin despite the traditional construction underneath. The suspension soaks up impacts that would rattle passengers in unibody designs. Solid feeling at every speed because the structure underneath doesn't flex. Chrome accents and ambient lighting bring luxury to a platform built for durability first. Heated seats, dual zone climate, and a sound system that competes with dedicated luxury brands. Exterior design is purposeful without apology. Upright stance, flat hood, vertical grille. This is a vehicle designed to intimidate obstacles, not blend into mall parking lots. Massive wheels with sidewall for absorbing impacts. Skid plates visible from the side. Tow hooks integrated into the bumper design, not hidden behind plastic covers. LED lighting and housing size for durability over aesthetics. But hardcore off-road capability is only one approach to solving the compromise problem. Geely Mjaro, 2-liter turbocharged engine producing 238 horsepower through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. All-wheel drive with torque vectoring that shifts power between wheels based on grip conditions. This is the foundation, the starting point. The vehicle that proves even the entry level of this revolution already features technology most manufacturers reserve for flagships. Level 2 autonomous driving assistance with adaptive cruise control and lane centering. The vehicle stays in its lane, maintains distance from traffic ahead, and adjusts speed for curves without constant input. 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and matching central touchscreen. Twin displays creating a unified digital cockpit. Premium leather interior with ambient lighting flowing through the cabin in customizable colors. The technology here would have been flagship level 5 years ago. Now it's the baseline. Heated seats, dual-zone climate control, premium sound system, and driver assistance features that used to cost thousands as options, all standard. All refined to the point where they work seamlessly instead of fighting for your attention. The interior materials are soft-touch surfaces, not hard plastics. The stitching is precise. The panel gaps are tight. Exterior design takes a refined approach. Flowing lines without aggressive angles. Chrome accents highlighting key elements without overwhelming the shape. LED lighting creating a distinctive signature. This is a vehicle designed to look appropriate in any setting, from city streets to highway cruising. Proportions are balanced. The stance is confident without being aggressive. Clean surfaces let the overall shape communicate instead of relying on busy details. And this is where it all started. The foundation that made everything else possible. 14 vehicles showing you what happens when engineering stops accepting limitations. When technology pushes past rational requirements. When luxury becomes obsession. From the Mjaro's refined baseline to the Voya Taishon's excessive perfection, you just witnessed the complete revolution. The moment Chinese SUV engineering went from catching up to defining what over-engineering actually means.